And so what I would do is go ahead and move it to that right there. Just leave it there. And then when we get started, when we actually hit 7 o'clock, you can just slide it back up because I'll be there
Okay.
until I come down.
Now, when are the mics able for them to hear the mics? Now? Okay.
Everything is live.
Wow.
So I gotta go back in the month.
Excuse me.
Start, figure out how to do radiation on that. So it's they call me Wednesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. The doctor said, we think you have a choice. So every 3 weeks you get intervened stuff. Or you can take pills twice a day. Well, the long trip, pills you gotta do it for a year. That's a lot of.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. Pharmacy, they don't call. Pharmacy called, said, sir, we're paying you a month. We have to wait to see how much interest the papers you have to
Yeah.
I got $35,000 a month for 2 bottles. One with
Yeah.
thousands. I don't know how much it is. So you know they're not gonna pay.
Yeah, well, they can charge all that one with Medicare.
I ain't got it here. You're not here.
So not Medicare, say what
But
they
they
do.
pay, they said, that you're responsible for the rest.
Yeah.
But if it's too much, why ain't just gonna take it? You know, if
Yeah.
I gotta pay 15, 20,000 a month.
Wow. Wow.
I just said,
Yeah.
well, I'm bad.
So, well, see where the shot is. You still there?
Yeah.
No, let me tell you why. We Valley Park. For me, the Valley Park. Is walk to my machine. Once they get this. Can't think.
Yeah.
Okay, horse block is what you're looking for.
Okay.
So, I had it done 50 years ago, it's all went longer.
Yeah.
Not longer, just.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, when I found out. I'm good for like 40 feet, 30 feet.
Wow.
And my wife said, I'm so tired. And that was back up over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been there like 8 days.
Yeah. And we said that and I get free rooms at the, I get free tickets in the show. I don't get one, I get tickets in the show.
So I used to get everybody. And,
Really?
I get rooms like all that. I get rooms in night a year. People ask me to get a room for me. Oh, you know, I gotta go over there.
You might go out there and get it, yeah.
Get the sign in, get the room,
How you doing, Miss Julie?
We don't care. You have to know
Yeah, they have to do it.
They do everything. We won't film the results.
Oh, you got some left over?
Yeah, thought I was sharing. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Feels good in the black and
Oh,
white.
thank you.
Huh?
One day, to come here.
I told Cheryl, you know, Robert's retired. No, was it your said he's retired? She's like, oh. I was like, yeah. I said, so tonight the council will vote on just giving him 2 years. Retired too.
What you gonna do when you retire?
Whatever that.
Oh, I know.
I like to visit. I like to go play. So hopefully, do that.
Yeah. Some people retire and they get sick and die. I don't want to do that.
No, I know.
And I was bound and determined I'm going to retire. And then I stayed home while I was sick for a few days with Leo, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
But it would be different though. You wouldn't be sick.
Maybe.
Right?
If I go in the bathroom, what you doing?
Where you going? I'm going outside? What are you going outside?
You got that too.
Are you gonna come and help if you tell you? Oh yeah, it's all the same. They all the same.
Well, I guess because they move. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Robert actually went to UCF and we ended up calling an old friend. That's they were out eating and around. I was like, you do that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's no big deal. I'm at work.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
sitting at home,
Oh no.
this is not good for me.
No. No. I get depressed. I could do it a couple of days and then after 2 days I'm ready to go.
Well, after my 2 weeks, I slept 11 hours Friday night.
Oh wow.
Got up Saturday, sat in TVs all day, watching The Resident. So I did binge watch The Resident.
Uh-huh.
Binge watch it.
What's The
2 hours
Resident?
and a half. The Resident is, what's the other one? It's about doctors. Hospital, but there's another one we watch. It's almost the same.
I started watching Matlock.
Oh, I haven't seen
The
that.
girl, the lady Matlock. Oh, that is so good. Every Thursday night, one right there.
Oh, Miss Vanessa's missing tonight.
Well, she usually comes in a little later.
Oh,
I guess she's, busy
business.
with the kid, yeah. And Lord knows she's got a bunch of them right now.
Especially with that other one closed.
Mm.
But there's one opening in its place. I saw,
Oh, really? I wonder what they
it
got
was on
going on.
Facebook. They're taking whatever.
I'm gonna have to ask Sabrina about their occupational license.
Yeah. They said they were opening.
It's
It's been a couple of weeks, I guess.
I'll have to ask her about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, Chief. Let me go sit down.
Okay. Hey. It's 7. There she comes.
That's what he always said.
Okay, folks, if I can have your attention, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Can you hear? Hang on just a second. Bear with me, we've got new sound we're working with. Can you hear now?
What?
Okay. If we get any feedback, just let me know. Okay. All right, it is March 10th, 2025. It is 7, it looks like 03 p.m. And at this time, we're going to have a call to order. Miss Julie Fonda.
Here.
Mr. Joe Becknell.
Here.
Miss Vanessa Giller.
Here.
Mr. Daniel Hennigan. Here. And Mr. Gerald Gittry.
Here.
Okay, we've established a quorum. At this time, we'd like to ask retired Pastor Alan Weisample to come to the podium up here and to lead us in our invocation. And then Mr. Joe is going to lead us in our pledge. If you'll stand.
Would you pray with me, please? Our Heavenly Father, remind us of who we talk to when we call you our Father. That you created the heavens and the earth, and you care about us. Father, you care about our way. You care about everybody in this room. And Father, we know that your eyes are upon us, your ears are tuned into us. And Father, we ask that you guide and direct everything that takes place here tonight, that you'll be glorified, and your perfect will might be done. And the town will be blessed. Bless each one now, Father, as we participate in this meeting. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You can be seated. All right. Council, if y'all can bring your microphones down so that you can hear you. All right. At this time, we have before us to adopt the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes as presented for regular meeting, February 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? And that carries. Okay, on to new business. This time, Miss Cindy, if you'll go over the financials for us.
Okay, this is the 8th month of our fiscal year. This is toward the ending of February 28th, 2025. Our general fund is finally receiving the revenues that will help to put us a little bit in balance for this year. On page 8, our revenues actually came over our expenditures this month. We came in at $298,689 more revenue than expenditures, which leaves us for a year-to-date actual of only a negative $82,470 year-to-date. So we're still in the negative, but it's not as bad as it was. On page 11 is our sales tax water improvement fund. At the end of this period of February, we are a net revenue under expenditures of $943.48 for a year-to-date actual of a negative $81,965. On page 14 is our parks. For the period to date of February, our net revenue came in over our expenditures of $2,342, which left our year-to-date actual is a negative $2,871. On page 17 is our street department. We have a net revenue over expenditures for the month of February of $35,032, which gave us a year-to-date actual of net revenue over expenditures of $42,642. On page 20 is our sales tax 3 department, which covers our drainage and some park improvements and drainage. This month, we had a net revenue over expenditures of $21,230. Our year-to-date actual is a net revenue over expenditures of $233,373. This fund also includes our economic development and our farmers markets and other things too. On the last page of your financials is our utility fund, sewer, water, and garbage. This month, we had a net revenue over expenditures of $62,729, which gave us a year-to-date actual revenue over expenditures of $511,706. Are there any questions?
Okay. We have no other questions. This time we're going to move on to the second part. And if y'all don't mind, I'm going to come down to the podium. There are a couple things that I would like to share with you. And the first one is a couple of little housekeeping deals. We are working off of a new audio system in here. If we get any ring back, I apologize for it. We're going to have to just keep working through it. We are actually working on our live stream. So that is going up right now. So we'll just have to keep working at it. I think it's probably going to take us a couple months to kind of get the bugs worked out of it. But I appreciate y'all allowing me to do a little housekeeping on that. One of the things I'd like to do is just kind of follow up on the financial report. There's just a genuine fact. Year ending 2022, the town had a decrease of funds by $200,000. In 2023, an additional decrease of $100,000. And with just 4 months remaining, it appears we will end this year with another additional approximately $100,000 in the decline. This trend is on track for the town to have the lowest amount of revenues since 2021. Okay, I don't mean that to say that that things are bad. Okay, but it's a trend, and it's not a one-off anomaly. Okay, but I'm excited at the fact that we are starting to see progress. We've done quite a few things. We'll get into that. The second thing I want to do is just to kind of do, I want to talk about the water tower. We do this once a year as far as having the interior of the tank inspected. So if you had low water pressure this afternoon, it had a lot to do with that. We went ahead and issued a boil advisory as a precaution, but the water tower is in the process of refilling. So that water pressure will come back, but just let you know that's what that is. Once a year, we have to drain the tank and let people climb inside and make sure everything is substantial, okay? All right, the third little item is what we have here. I think most of us in the building are excited about this. This is a door hanger, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start placing these on folks' door. And we need your help. We want to be able to communicate with everybody in town. We want to know how to do so. This has got a survey on the back. It's got phone number and address on the back, but it goes through a lot of different things. And basically what it says is the town of Iowa wishes to better communicate with you. Your response to this survey will help us help you. And so we go through different things that we offer. And then on the back it says, what's the easiest way to reach you? And we give a bunch of different things you can check off. But what we really want you to do is to fill this out. If you want us to come by and pick it up, call us. We got guys in the field all day long, okay? And we can come by and we can pick that up and we can put that into our system and we can help you in the way that will help you, okay? So this is gonna be a big help. I'm really excited about that and I appreciate that. So what I'd like to do just for a few moments here is because halfway through this administration, I wanted to kind of give everybody an idea as what we've been able to accomplish and hopefully what we're going to turn towards, okay? And I would like to kind of take it to a point of perspective. If I drive by Mr. Joe's house and I see him outside and he's got a gumbo pot out there and he's got his burner, I might assume that he's going to boil some crawfish. I could be wrong. He might be doing gumbo. But it's a matter of me driving by and just happen to glance at him and say, I think that's what he's doing. Sometimes I believe we have to back up from what we think and find out for sure so we know. So we have the right perspective on what we're doing. Same thing with the town. I'm in here on a daily basis. I know what goes on a daily basis. I have the sometimes the unfortunate job of actually giving an answer that some people don't like, you know. And so, but anyway, we persevere through it. So, taking office, I did assume that there would be some waste. I just didn't expect to see what I considered some unusual movement with tax dollars. Okay. However, despite the enormous task before me, no matter how difficult, I was committed to doing right by the taxpayers. In my opinion, taking the easy way out is for politicians that say one thing and do another. I'm extremely proud of all my employees, and because of them, I am delighted to give you a midterm update that we should all be proud of. A balanced budget will always be my goal for the town of Highway. Just as you have to live within your means, it's only right that we as your elected officials live within ours. We should never spend your money without considering the benefit for you, the residents and businesses of the town of Highway. As some people say, proof's in the pudding, right? Anybody heard that before? These are just a few of the items. I'll kind of go through them. I may give a little bit of a brief background to them. Waterworks funds are on positive ground. As many of you remember, we were in quite a big deficit with our waterworks. This will allow us to not just maintain, but to provide the necessary upgrades to accommodate for future growth. Secondly, we finished some 800 meters of only 1,800 households that had been ongoing for some 20 years. I wasn't thrilled with this, because then I had to start metering people, which caused issues, okay? But we did it. And we have firmly put the town in the position for water sector funding. This funding will reduce the overall burden for these expenses for all residents and businesses. Another thing that we were able to accomplish is that all interfund loans, that means that we borrowed money from Fund A and moved it to Fund B, or Fund B and moved it to Fund A, whatever it might be. We were able to, all these interfund loans were to cover payroll from the past. They've all been paid back to the funds that they were borrowed from. These were loans initiated many years ago to cover payroll for town employees. You remember we talking about we were $500,000 in debt? That's where a lot of this, I think the other numbers we were looking at is from, I think from 2020 until 2022, 23, over $700,000 was moved out of our LAMP, which is savings, we have that set to help us during emergencies, right? Next thing we did is we've reduced cost and overcome issues with outdated equipment, programs, and services. As a result, we are within a couple of months of having one of the most robust server rooms ever with state-of-the-art security for the protection of the town's data. Number 5, we have our oxidation pond for wastewater. It's had an electrical upgrade, and we are currently waiting for the delivery of new aerators that will improve the efficiency of our wastewater system. The bottom line is this: my administration, even in the face of inflation and reduced operational funds, has set the foundation for a successful and sustainable future. I have to say this, I'm bragging on the folks that work for me, but because of the professionalism of my employees and the trust that has been established, I am confident that I can now direct more of my attention to the controlled growth of the town. As has been in the past, I will continue to have my finger on the pulse of the town and continue to make decisions on a daily basis. Unfortunately, for the past 2 years, I've dealt with unfounded accusations, some defamation and political activism. Regrettably, some of our society has devolved into this type of behavior. I expect some of that from the general public. But this will no longer be tolerated by anyone that receives a paycheck from the town of Iowa. The handbook policy for the town forbids it. Therefore, discipline should be swift and final. Because I did not give in to the easy way, I made the necessary changes for the town's sake. This type of effort always requires leadership. I'm proud to say that over the last 2 years, the employees under my purview have become more adept at their tasks, work well together as a team, and are now learning new skills. Currently, we have the right people in the right places, and I can't be prouder of them as I have seen growth in them all. I hope that you too are proud of their progress. As we have continually operated shorthanded, we will continue to do so until such a time as the revenues and the budget allow us to afford more help. So because of the mindset over the past 2 years, promises I made or promises I kept, wastewater assessment, corrections, as well as an anticipated project we hope to start in 2025 that will allow for many years' growth for that system. Water plant repairs, as well as preventative maintenance, as well as a preventative maintenance plan to ensure the town's water supply is both available as well as affordable. Finding and repairing a 15-year-old leak that could not be found. It had helped, this has helped reduce the cost of chemicals, electricity, and manpower, but more importantly, and this is something that's very interesting, and I am excited that we found this leak. I hated it was there, but I'm excited we found it. Now we are going to be able to conserve hundreds of millions of gallons of very precious natural resource. That particular leak was kind of a one-off. It broke in a location where the water pressure cut a very, very short area of dirt out and ended up in a broken culvert. It never would show where it was at. And we went through a lot of different equipment to find it. September, we had 714 million gallons of water come out of that tower. We fixed that leak. And in October, we only used 10 million gallons. Now, I'm excited about it, not about the leak. But what I'm excited about is the opportunity that we have of going back, and I directed Miss Roxanne, who works for me, she's my assistant, to reach out. I want to get another rate study done. Because if we're not treating that much water, I guarantee you we'll probably have some rates that may come down. That's what I'm hoping for. So that was very interesting. Upgrading the wastewater lines from our town hall lift station to accommodate our next project of upgrading the lift stations to include backup generators, reducing manpower and downtime in the event of emergencies. So this is something we'll get into a little bit later when we talk about the park and the project that is there. Making repairs on streets and sidewalks, including reducing potential hazardous situations with traffic. Now, I'm excited about that one too. We're finally starting to get to a point where we have the funds to fix sidewalks, to fix some of the things that are creating some of our issues in town. Okay. Repairs of damaged buried culverts, scheduled repairs to concrete major drainage issues that lead to low-level flooding. That's on its way. That's in Miss Patsy's neighborhood. Okay. We will be starting, we're hoping here within the next couple of months, raising and repairing low-lying manholes that are infiltrated with water from full ditches and open field areas. This too will reduce chemicals and labor costs. Working with Gravity Drainage District, culminating in them dedicating funds for the town of Iowa for repairs to our lateral. We have a lot of problems on our lateral, and they've dedicated funding for the town of Iowa in both 2025 and 2026. Okay. Another thing that we were able to do is to create and implement both the farmers market and the Christmas in the Park event. Facilitating positive movement for both the senior center and the fire department for new locations that will better serve the public. These are things I'm excited about. These are things that I think the people can get behind. Okay. The more we can save money, the more we can do some of the things that we'd like to do. Right now, we're stuck in that we need to do. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the fire department. When I came in, we had a cooperative endeavor agreement with the fire department. That CEA required us as a town to hire a full-time chief. At the time, we had a part-time chief and a few part-time individuals. We were in a bad spot. We were very, very close to failing our PIAL. The PIAL is what we have to have done every, is it 3 years, 5 years? And if we fail it, everybody's insurance rates go up. Not a pretty picture. So what has really been a blessing to us is that Miss Charlotte Lantier, if you don't mind standing, our chief. I just want to say I appreciate what you've done. What you came into was a mess. And she's done quite well with cleaning that up. And she couldn't have done it without her captain. And I would like for you to stand up as well, Mr. Mark Lewis. These two individuals here, I hate to say this, they're almost the culmination of our fire department. We are in serious need of volunteers. They give their heart and soul to this. If there's anybody you know that can help, please put them in touch with the chief. Captain. Okay. Continuing on with the fire department, I don't know if many of you know, but our fire department is the smallest district in Calcasieu Parish. Okay. And because of that, our volunteer fire department has the lowest amount of operational funds. Oh, man, Tom, you have a seat right there. So the least amount of operational funds of any fire protection district in Calcasieu Parish. Their operational budget is $178,000. You get done with insurance, you're left with $40,000. Folks, they need some help. They need the volunteers. In conclusion, approximately 10 months ago, I presented the council a 5-page plan. That particular plan looks about like this. It contains elements related to economic development, transportation, utilities, and drainage. To the council, the leaders outside our local government, businessmen and women, and the folks of the town, I believe we stand at a fork in the road. On one hand, we can do nothing and let time dictate some or no growth. Or we can make a plan that allows us to usher in the growth in the way we see best. Otherwise, those from the outside of the town may surround us and stifle any growth we might have wanted. These are just a few of the possibilities. And I've got some things in here that deal with the ordinance, but there's a lot of different things that we're looking at. Removal of overlapping ordinances that create loopholes. One that I'm excited about, and I'm hoping that we can have a lot of discussion on, is a preferred landlord ordinance. How about garbage service? Anybody been dissatisfied with the garbage service? Debris removal. I really like to have debris removed if we only had the money. But I think there's a possibility we can make this happen. I'm working on those things right now, hopefully to present to the council. Okay.
Another thing that I'm looking at is to consider public-private partnerships. I think that is it is something that's been used in other areas. It's something that a lot of different places are using, frankly, because state has limited resources now. We have things we have to do ourselves, and this may be one of those things that can get us where we want to go. I'd like to have a website created for certified land available, which means that anybody that's looking to move here, whether it's for jobs, it's restaurants, whatever it might be, they know already, they can see it on the website. That's available, and this particular owner of the property is ready to sell. It's got water, it's got sewer, it's got all the utilities. That's what businesses look for when they're looking at Iowa, is the infrastructure in place. And sadly, there's a lot of places we don't have that infrastructure, but we could. And hopefully through a public-private partnership, we can accomplish those things. Another thing is that we may entertain, may think about it, hopefully, is maybe to procure a bond for steady, calculated growth that is sustainable. A rural hospital. There's a lot of groundwork that's been kind of laid on that as far as the thoughts and ideas. And I think there's a good possibility for a rural hospital. I'm excited about that. We have so many issues that happen in this area where it'd be handy if we had one close. Okay. Ambulance service. That's another one, boy. I tell you, it's sometimes it's difficult. Who was it? Somebody must have been 20 some odd minutes the other day getting an ambulance to them. But those things are, I understand. Everything is kind of at a distance with some of the services. But if we could have an ambulance service here, I think it would be beneficial to all the residents. This one here, and I'm sorry, Chief, I don't mean to give you heartburn on this one, golf cart crossings. I don't know how many times I've been asked about golf cart crossings. But I tell you what, we got a friend in this room tonight. And if you don't mind, Mr. Seth Woods, would you please stand up? Mr. Seth Woods is with DOTD. Of course, I'm not saying that he's going to authorize the golf cart crossings, but I'm going to tell you, working with him over the past couple of years, he's a man of integrity. He will shoot it straight. And I think what we have to do is, if it's something we're wanting to do, is we move forward. We put it to the powers that be. If they say yes, they say yes. If they say no, they say no. But at least we can kind of pursue that avenue if you'd like. Okay. The other thing is that we have identified Thompson Low Grout Corridor as something we're going to concentrate on from an MPO side. And that's a board that I sit on. The development of East Miller. I think we have a good opportunity for that. The other thing, and I have talked with Mr. Seth Woods about this, is pursuing a new service road off of I-10. And I'm sure we'll have some conversations about that. Another thing that I think would be very helpful for us is to consider annexation of properties. A third thing the last thing that we have here on this list is working in conjunction with the school board to develop a new road. I know some of you are very familiar with that new road we were talking about. It gives us access off of Railroad to Miller, gives the folks in this area here, if there's a train derailment, a way out. Right now they'd be stuck. But it also would help the school board free up some traffic. Instead of everybody gathering at the light, some of those buses can come south and work their way through. Okay, so I think it's a good thing. School board's in favor of it. We have submitted a request on a grant to do so. However, it's my opinion that none of these things can happen without the unity of this community and its leaders. Even though there's a lot of good that can come from one or more of these, it's my opinion that without the one item I have not listed, I have not spoke about, it is the most important and the only thing that will position the town of Iowa to become the crown jewel of Southwest Louisiana. I have to say that I'm thankful for these past 2 years. They've been hard. We've made tremendous progress. Having already laid groundwork, it is my intent to begin in earnest the very thing that will start us on the path of progress. Chief Vincent, I'd like to ask you, what's the one thing I haven't mentioned?
Response center.
That's what I'm talking about. It's my opinion that the Stephen Vincent Emergency Operations Center is the key to this town's success, provided we can make a plan to deliver this as a regional facility. It is my hope that folks of Iowa can get behind a Southwest Louisiana Regional Stephen Vincent Emergency Center. I know that's a mouthful, but I know the DOT can get the signage done correctly, right? So the question is, who among you will stand with me, shoulder to shoulder, to see that your children and grandchildren and generations to come have every available means to help secure their future? This will be a monumental task, but it is the needed catalyst that will allow these other items to be pursued. I appreciate Congressman Higgins, Senator Abraham, and Representative Troy Romero. I stand behind them 100% in all of their efforts for the betterment of our area. I am asking that we pursue this as one voice. So I ask you again, in conclusion, who will stand shoulder to shoulder to make this happen? All right, I thank you all for letting me go on that little rant. Okay, number 3, we have discussion of parks and projects. And as I alluded to earlier, we were talking about the project that's in the park. This was a project that was started 3-4 years ago. When did that get initiated?
You mean the ball fields?
The sewer line.
Oh, the sewer line. Oh,
That's
my
been
goodness.
many a year ago.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that much like the road that we were hoping to put off on Sherman until it dried up, we weren't able to do. Same thing with this particular project here. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of rain. It's created a lot of issues with the fields. I am hoping that the guys can get back in there if we can get some of that dried up. We've got the softball field that has the gap in it. We've got a lot of mud in there. We have the back of the t-ball field that we have a temporary fence in the waiting to block that off. And then we have a couple other things in the buddy ball field has got a hole in it as well from all the construction there. We've had a lot of damage that was created by the equipment that was redoing the lines, so we've got water lines and things of that nature. So I'm not too sure how quickly that we can actually get that into shape, provided we have all this rain that we've had. I did notice we've got a couple of sinkholes. I shouldn't say sinkholes. We've got mud moving, I guess is the better thing, is settling down, but we're gonna have to get in there at some point and try to get that fixed up. So, even though I would have liked to have moved that project till after the summer, I believe our funding is kind of where we were at all the years. We could not move that. We were stuck. So be it as it is, that's where we're at today. We do have other projects we're working on. That's going to be our sewer lift station here that we have problems with will be upgraded. And so we have to have that done as well. That project needs to be completed. We got the other one done. So the culmination of all these different things that have been going on in past funds that were provided to us, we had to get it done in that fashion. Okay. Any other discussions on that? Okay. All right, number 4, we have a motion to approve resolution for the Municipal Water Pollution Prevention, MWPP, audit report for January 24, December through December 24. Is that correct? Should be 25?
No,
Okay.
no, it's for this past year.
Okay, all right. Oh, yes, correct. Any questions? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, number 5, motion to approve resolution 2025-02, a resolution to declare property as surplus and assign to LPS Municipal Surplus Property Program for online sale for surplus property.
I move to approve resolution 2025-02.
Second.
Do we have any discussion on that? I'm sorry. Any discussion? Okay. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries. Okay, number 6, upon request of Chief Vincent, we have a motion to approve hiring Kevin Lau. Correct? Lord? Okay.
I move to approve hiring Kevin Lower, full-time control, 2/24/2025.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, and that motion carries. And the second one there is a motion to approve transfer of Megan Thibodeau for part-time dispatch for full-time dispatcher.
Yeah, I'm requesting a motion for that.
I move to approve the transfer of Megan Thibodeau from part-time to full-time dispatcher effective 2/24/2025.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries. Anything else, Chief?
I just want to thank y'all for y'all's continued support. We're getting close to 10 years needing a new police station, and hope that I appreciate it, and so do all the officers, and we look forward to that coming as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, the next thing we have before us is a motion to adjourn.
Looking through the.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, and we are adjourned. I want to thank all you folks for coming out this evening. If you have any questions, again, feel free to call at any time. Okay.